So on Sunday, we got the season premiere of the show NOS4A2, which I had no clue was going to be dropped all at once on AMC Premiere. A buddy of mine let me know this after I watched the first episode, and I was like, cool, I'll check it out next week. Nope, didn't have to. Just went right to my AMC app, and boom, the whole season was there, and I got to watch the whole damn thing. This is a show based on the Joe Hill novel, son of author Stephen King. I have read his Lock and Key comic series, and that's all I've read from Joe. But I was looking forward to this because it's horror TV and it's slightly Stephen King related. So, instantly signed me up. So this show is about a young girl named Vic, and she is having a lot of family troubles, and she has a dirt bike that she goes out to clear her mind riding around. And while she's out in the woods riding her bike, she finds this bridge. And when she finally decides to cross this bridge, it's an old time rickety bridge from like the 19th century that's supposed to have been torn down. And when she crosses this bridge, it takes her places. There is also an antagonist by the name of Charlie Manx, and he is an old man that drives around an old Rolls-Royce Wraith and abducts children to take them to Christmas land and get them away from their seemingly terrible parents. He sees himself as the hero here, but there's more sinister things at play with him than meets the eye. Okay. I know this first episode was not well received, and I enjoyed the first episode. So I think if people are like, I hated the first episode, I don't know if this show is going to be saved, honestly, for them. But if you were into the first episode at all, I do think it gets considerably better. Ashley Cummings, who plays Vic here, I thought was great. I thought she was perfectly casted. She's kind of got that rednecky, white trash, hillbilly girl, but still sweet and still very likable. They didn't overly glamorize her at all. I mean, she's still a very pretty girl, clearly. I mean, in reality. But they really kind of do like an make under on her to give her like this frizzy curly hair and just kind of make her look like a girl that grew up in a small town on the wrong side of the tracks. And I think they did a very good job with that. I thought the Ashley Cummings, who I only know from the movie Hounds of Love, I thought she did great. And Zachary Quinto from Star Trek and American Horror Story and whatnot. I know a lot of people were kind of bashing on his performance and saying it's cringy and this and that as Charlie Manx. I thought he was great, especially as the older. I liked him fine. He's Zachary Quinto as the other, like when he's young. But when he's old, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was creepy. I thought he pulled that off, and the makeup on that is incredible. And there's some really cool CGI effects and whatnot when he goes like from young to old, old to young, old to young. I really liked the way all of that looked. I thought the production value on this was super high. Now, here's the thing. This is where I think the show is either going to be liked or hated. And it's in the family drama. That's where I loved the show as a season. Because this focuses so heavily on family drama. And it's funny, when I was watching this, I was thinking the whole time, knowing, of course, that it was a book, but I kept thinking, man, this would make a great book. Like, this is something I want to read because it gets so deep into a troubled family. Like, Vic's mom and her dad and the relationship she has with both of them. And it's not, what I like about it is that it's not one-dimensional and it's not typical. A lot of the times you get very one-dimensional typical characters like, oh, her dad's a drunk loser who beats her and this and that. No, her dad has issues, but he also has, you know, positives about him. He has his negatives and his positives. And I haven't seen that explored as much in anything. It's usually like black and white, like total piece of shit. You know, there's struggles to the guy, but I really like the chemistry between the daughter and the father here. I thought, you know, they take it in places where I was like, oh wow, like he fucked up, you know? And I was like, well, that's real. And that's what I really enjoyed about this show, is that the family drama worked so well for me, and I can relate to some of it immensely. And I think that if you're not going to be interested in the characters and you're just here for the horror is very secondary in this. And it's very PG-13 in that way. Like, there's no real gore. There's no cussing. I don't even remember. It's a TV-14, which I was very disappointed with at first. Like, when I saw it on the screen, like TV-14, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be watered down. And while I would be fine with there being more, like gore and cursing and all this and that, it wasn't really necessary for the show. I mean, as I said, I think it might have made it a little better for me, just because I like my shows to be more adult. It feels more realistic, especially when you have like white trash hillbillies yelling at each other while drunk. They're gonna curse, you know. And then when you have little creatures eating on people and stuff, it's gonna be gory, it's gonna be bloody. So I would have liked those things, but I don't know, the way that the show plays out, it does play out a little more PG-13, and I still really ended up enjoying the shit out of this. So it's one of those things you kind of just go, okay, like that's fine. But yeah, the horror aspect, the horror is fairly light. It's more reliant on family drama and more of a thrilling aspect, because she's in pursuit of the Wraith. She's in pursuit of Charlie Manx and trying to save these kids. And the horror within the car and with the kids and all of that is very small. It's a very small part of the show. I would say family drama is like takes up the lion's share of screen time, like 75% or more. So is that going to work for people? Are they going to buy in? It's just going to be, do you like Vic and her parents and what's going on between her dating life with her friends, all that stuff. That really is the main focus of the show. And as a drama, I thought it worked very well, because I was so into the character of Vic because of Ashley Cummings' performance and because of the chemistry she had with everyone. Everyone really felt their roles. I felt like that was her best friend. I felt like that was her mom. I felt like that was her dad. I felt like, you know. And then there's other characters like the janitor, which I thought was very well casted and very believable. So the production value, the acting, all that stuff is very, very solid. It's a great looking show and a good acted show. It's just, will people buy into the drama? Because I know a lot of people who are horror fans couldn't give a fuck about drama or characters. And those kinds of people, television isn't really for you. I mean, the whole point of taking a show to television is to hash out like characters, like to get character development. If you don't like character development, you probably shouldn't watch television shows. Go watch movies. Go watch a 75 fucking minute slasher movie. There you go. No character development, all tits and gore. So if that's what you're looking for, television really isn't for you, unless it's like an anthology show or something. But yeah, that's just silly to me when people are like, I don't fucking give a shit about characters and all this. Then stop watching movies. That's silly. But yeah, so as far as the book goes, I can't compare it. I have no clue. I did not read it. I was told by someone, because when this ended, I was like, oh, this is wide open for a second season. I was like, did they change the ending of the book for the show or what? And a friend of mine said that they only adapted the first third of the book. And if that's true, that's insane, because it's wild to think that you can get so much material, 10 hours essentially, out of 1/3 of a book. People thought that 3 movies out of The Hobbit was a lot. 1 season out of the first third of a novel, a whole season? Holy shit, man. That's crazy. That's like all 3 Hobbit films together in 1 season, because that's about the length of that, for 1/3 of a book. So you're going to get 30 hours for 1 novel. So, which is fine by me. I mean, let's get the whole thing. I don't know how much they added. I don't know how much they took away. I don't know. That's one area I can't speak on. But as far as the show goes, I said my piece. I tried to get this watched as fast as I could because I was really enjoying it, and I wanted to tell you guys that it was all on AMC for anyone who's interested in the show, who did like the first episode. If you liked the first episode, I think you're going to enjoy this even more. If you hated the first episode, I don't think you're going to like it. So let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of you will not even be seeing the last episode for like 2.5 months from now. But for those of you who have AMC, I think AMC premieres $4.99 a month. So you could just grab a subscription to it. Shit, they probably have a free trial for 2 weeks. But if they don't, $5, you can watch the whole show in one, couple days and then cancel your subscription. So $5 to rent the entire season, essentially. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys do. Adios.